And for those joining the recording, I'll let you know you're going to need a chair or a couch or something at some point at the end of class, and we will be using our weights today. So let's go over and make our way to our mats. And we can begin sitting down or lying down, your preference. And if you're lying down, go ahead and feel your body settling in, relaxing into the floor. If you're sitting, take a moment to root your sitting bones down. So begin by getting grounded. Feel that solid connection to the ground beneath you. If you're sitting up, see if you can sit up nice and tall, but relax your shoulders down, maybe drop your chin a little bit. And we could have eyes open or eyes closed. But we always begin our practice by trying to let our mind draw its attention to what it feels like now. We want to cultivate awareness of our present moment experience. So wherever you are, what does it feel like to be where you are? What do you feel? What do you sense? Notice what it is that you're noticing. Sounds, smells, sensation. And when we quiet the mind and focus on the present moment, we often begin to notice our breathing. So let's bring our focus to our breathing now. And just really feel what it feels like to take a deep breath in. And then to allow that breath to release and empty out. Take your time and just see if you can focus your mind on that experience of breathing deeply. And if your mind goes off and starts to think about something later or something earlier, just kindly, gently bring your focus back to breathing. If your mind notices something in your present environment, that's great. You know, that you're still really aware of the present moment. But if your mind starts to think about the future or the past, see if you can bring it back to right here, right now. So I'm going to ask you to continue to breathe deeply and continue to focus. But as we're breathing, I want us to consider the things that we might consider our strengths. So as you're breathing in, can you bring to mind some things, some qualities about yourself that are positive? So perhaps one quality about you that's positive is that you're creative. So just breathe in that quality, like I am creative. Perhaps a quality about you that's positive is that you are full of gratitude. You tend to see the things that you can appreciate in your life. So breathe in the fact that I am full of gratitude. Perhaps a quality about you that's positive is that you are kind and generous. You enjoy doing good things for other people. So breathe in the fact that I am kind. Perhaps a quality about you that's positive is that you are optimistic. You tend to see the good. We all have these qualities. So breathe in the fact that you are optimistic. There are many qualities that we have that are positive. And some of them in particular are our strengths. And recognizing our strengths and just being aware of the fact that we have so many strengths is really a vital, important practice. So often we focus on the things that are our deficits or the ways that we think we're not good enough. But really, we all have so much good within us. And we all have all these positive characteristics. Some of us are stronger in some and less strong in others. But we each are full of positive strengths. So maybe there's one strength that you'd like to focus on or really cultivate in your practice today or today. If there's something you'd like to focus on, breathe it in now. And maybe consider weaving it into your practice as we move into our movement practice. So to begin our movement practice, if you're not already lying down, go ahead and make your way to lying down. And take one leg and hug in one knee and straighten the other leg out on the floor. You can kind of shake that leg and then feel that straight leg nice and heavy and relaxed on the ground. As the other knee hugs in close, bring it in nice and close. And then just let go of that knee that you hugged in. Point your toe and lift the leg up toward the ceiling. And then flex your foot and bend at the knee, lowering the heel down. So we're going to point and lift the leg up and flex and bring the heel down. And point and straighten it up and flex and lower. And one more time, point to lift and flex to lower. And then keep your foot flexed and straighten your leg up. And then point your toe, bending the knee. So flex and press up and point and bend. And just do that 2 more times. This has a nice ability to kind of loosen up the whole foot and leg. Great. So this time, as that knee is bent, we're going to grab onto it again, hug it in again. And then with the same hand as the leg, just open out to the side and take a breath. And then bring the knee back in, grab it with 2 hands, cross the midline, hug that knee up towards your opposite shoulder, stretching into the outer hip, and take another breath. And then come back and release that foot down. Let's change legs. So hug your other knee in, straighten that first leg out, maybe bounce the knee a few times, and then just feel that leg nice and heavy on the ground. Keep that straight leg down as you hug the other knee in real close. And then let go of that knee. Your arms can drop down. Point the toes on that leg and then take the leg up. And then flex your foot and lower your heel down. So point the toe and straighten up and flex your foot and lower the heel down. And do that a couple more times. So big point and a big flex. One more time like that. And then the next time your heel comes down, keep your foot flexed as you take it up. Point your toe and bend the knee. Flex your foot and press up. Point and bend. And again, flexing to lift and pointing to lower. And last one like that. And then as the knee bends, this time we'll grab onto it, hug it in again. And then with the same hand as the knee, open that knee out to the side and take a breath. Bring the knee back, grab it with your two hands, cross your midline, hug it up towards your opposite shoulder, breathe into that outer hip, and then release it. You can lower that leg down, bring the other foot in, and then we're gonna bring the knees up in the air, and we're gonna do revolved abdomen. So you can have your arms out to your side. We're just gonna take the knees over to one side, maybe about halfway over, and take a breath. And with our exhale, bring the knees back to center, and then take the knees over to the other side. So it's a little bit of a challenge to hold them there. We'll take a breath, and then with the sideways, pull those knees back to center. Go to the first side again and take a breath. And then bring the knees back and go to the other side. So we're just kind of warming up the side waist and the hips a little bit here. So keep going side to side, hold and take a breath. And then bring the knees back. Maybe you're going a little further over each time. Hold and take a breath. And exhale and bring them back. Go to that first side again. And bring them back. And then we're going to let the knees drop all the way over this time. So the bottom leg comes down and the top leg settles on top. And then reach back with the arm that's behind you and take a breath. Try to keep your knees stacked one on top of the other. And then that arm that's behind us, we're gonna sweep it down, bring that arm alongside your hip. We're gonna circle that arm forward. We're gonna reach it up and we're gonna reach back and around again. So we're just gonna do big arm circles here. Just working on kind of range of motion in the shoulder here. Circle that arm down by your hip, forward, up and around and back, down. We're gonna bring that arm forward and then let's just change direction on the circle. Sweep it down and behind, overhead, around and forward, down, around and behind, up and around and forward. One more time like this. Just kind of waking up the upper body a little bit here. Yeah. All right. So you can take your arms out to your side, take a breath in. As you exhale, you can lift one leg and then the other and bring them back to center. And then we'll let the knees drop all the way over to the other side, stacking one knee on top of the other, reaching back with the arm behind you. And then that arm behind, we're gonna just circle it down by the hip, reach it forward, reach it up and overhead, and then circle it back behind, and then circle it down by your hip, reach it forward, reach it up and overhead, circle it around behind you, reach it down, bring it forward, then change direction, go down, circle it behind you, circle it overhead, up and around and forward and down and behind and around, up and overhead. One more time like that. And then we'll let that arm come down and then just let both arms reach out to the side. Take a breath in. With your exhale, lift your top knee, lift your bottom knee, and then bring them back to center. Great. Let's lift our legs up in the air. We'll take a breath in. With our exhale, we're going to reverse curl. Lift the hips and then roll out, and then let the legs drop a little bit away from you. And then bring the legs straight up and reverse curl, and then roll out. And each time we're going to let the legs fall away. And you can decide how far you want your legs to fall away from you. So your low belly has to really work to support the legs as they lower away from you. At a certain point, it's going to be hard and your back is going to arch. So just kind of explore how far you want to take your legs away so that you're really challenging the strength of the low belly and you're not straining the low back. So you kind of go at your own pace here and determine the angle, but you're curling up and then lowering the legs away from you on your own with a lot of awareness on how this feels. We're really trying to wake up the lower abdominals here. Yeah, try not to grip with your neck and your jaw, which I find myself doing here. Really tap into that strength in the deep low belly, and maybe do a couple more of these. And then the next time your legs come up and you reverse curl or you lift, then go ahead and bend your knees. We're going to lift the head up now and clasp the hands beneath the head. We'll take a breath in. As we exhale, we'll curl up and we're going to extend one leg and twist across. And then we're going to come back and down. And then we're going to exhale and extend the other leg and twist across. Inhale, back and down. Exhale, curl up, extend one leg and twist across. Inhale, back and down. Exhale, curl up, extend the other leg. And then let's just switch. So one leg extends, and then the other leg extends, and we're twisting across. We're thinking about bringing rib cage towards the opposite thigh. The elbow just kind of follows around. We're really trying to work through our midsection here. Let's just do a few more of these. Waking up those obliques, upper belly, side to side. A few more times. Doing great. Last set here. And then you can lower your head, lower your feet. Let's roll to the side, make our way all the way around to all fours. As we come around onto all fours, make sure you have a little room here and get your knees right beneath your hips, your wrists right under your shoulders. You can kind of shift your weight around a bit and then just do a couple cat cows. Just do them on your own in any way that feels nice for you. Just kind of get in touch with the feeling of your spine. Moving from flexion to extension, from cat to cow, from rounding to arching. Just move your spine in a way that feels nice for you, to warm it up, to help it understand that it can lengthen and arch, and it can round and create space. Really feel what you're doing. Tap into sensation and awareness. Keep breathing, maybe using the breath to facilitate your movement here. And just flow into these two different movements one more time. Ending up in a neutral spine position. And then let's take one leg, press out through the heel. Take the opposite arm and reach out through the arm. So thumb up and toes down. Get nice and long here and take a breath. And then lower your big toe and your pinky to touch the floor. And then bring them straight out again. And lower them down and touch. And lift up so you're reaching out long. Lower down and touch. Lift up, reach out long. Make sure that when your leg lifts up, you're not arching your back. So the belly is supporting the low back. Now, as you lower down, can you take, well, before you lower down, take everything a little bit wider. So a little bit wider than your shoulder, a little bit wider than your hip. And then same thing, lower down and touch and lift up. And lower down and touch and lift up. Just a little bit wider than your body. Lower down and touch and lift up. Lower down and touch and lift up. Now bring it straight like you normally do, and then cross in just slightly inside of your shoulder and more towards your midline. Lower down and touch and lift up. Lower down and touch and lift up. Two more. Lower down and touch and lift up, and lower down and touch and lift up. Great. Let's release that hand and knee back down. We'll do the other side. So take the other leg back, press out through the heel, reach the opposite arm forward, thumb to the ceiling. Get nice and long as you take a breath in. Lower down and touch, and then lift up. Lower down and touch. Just lift up so your arm and leg are parallel to the floor. Lower down and touch, and lift up. One more time like that. And then take the arm and the leg slightly wider than the hip and shoulder. Lower down and touch and lift up. Lower down and touch and lift up. Two more. Lower down and touch and lift up, and lower down and touch and lift. Now bring them straight and then cross over a bit, and then lower down and touch and lift up. So you're kind of more in line with your midline. And lift up. Lower down and touch and lift up. And last time, lower down and touch, lift up. Great. And then bring that hand and knee back down. Let's go ahead and sit back on our heels. Releasing the weight off of the wrists, sitting back on our heels, rounding over the legs, letting our forehead rest on our arms, taking a few breaths here. Just connecting with how you're feeling. And maybe breathing in that quality that you're focusing on this morning. An I am statement, perhaps. And then when you're ready, you can lift your head up, reach your arms out. We'll make our way to downward facing dog. So take some time here in your down dog. Kind of look around. Notice how different it is to see the world from this different perspective. Let your head just dangle. Shake it maybe a little bit. Free up your neck. As your hands are firmly connected to the ground, can you draw your hips a little further up and back as you breathe in? And then let's bend a knee and pedal a heel down. And then bend that knee and pedal the other heel down. Maybe noticing how your feet are looking, and notice how you can press those heels straight back rather than letting them angle in. Maybe you keep alternating one more time. And then let's bend both knees a bit. See if you can take the hips a little further up and back. Take a deep breath in and out. Then let's walk our hands back towards our feet, lowering our heels down, ending up folded over. Feel your arms loose and heavy. Feel your head heavy. Feel your feet planted. Take a breath into your upper back. Let that breath empty out. And then draw the belly in and start to roll yourself up here, unfurling your spine. Eventually your head comes up, root down, reach your arms out, breathe in and stretch up and overhead. And then we'll exhale our arms down at our sides. Great. Okay, let's pick up our weights. I think you could potentially use your heavier weights, or you might want to start off with your lighter weights to just, see how it goes. You can always switch if you chose something that's not quite right. So we're going to start with some squats. So we want our feet maybe hip distance, maybe slightly wider, and maybe your toes a little bit angled out. And we're just going to bend the knees and sit into a squat. right? You don't have to go real far your first few. And then we're gonna straighten up and we're gonna bicep curl. So we're gonna just lower down and we're gonna curl. So knees and toes tracking together. Some people like the toes turned out more or less, and that's fine, but just make sure you're not knees going one way, feet going the other. And so now as we come up, let's lift the heels up and we're gonna press overhead. And then we're gonna come down and we're gonna sit into our squat. We're gonna come up and lift the heels. We're gonna come down and lower the arms. Come up, lift the heels, come down, lower the arms. Come up, press up, come down, lower down. Yeah, we'll do a few more like this. Just getting those calves working. A little bit of balanced challenge here. Last one like this. Now we're going to sit into our squat, and as we come up, can we lift one knee? And then we're going to sit into our squat. As we come up, can we lift the other knee? Sit into our squat, come up and lift a knee. So a little more balance here, and lift the other knee. Now we could still lift a knee, or could you extend a leg forward? Sit into your squat, extend a leg forward. Sit into your squat, extend a leg forward. You can always just do regular squat. You can always leave out the overhead press. Or just modify and find what's right for you. All right, next time we're going to change it up again. We're going to sit into our squat. As we press overhead, we're going to lift a leg out to the side. We're going to sit into our squat. We're going to lift the leg out to the side. Sit into our squat, lift the leg out to the side. Sit into our squat, lift the leg out to the side. Let's do a few more of these. So your foot is forward. You're lifting laterally rather than the thigh toward the ceiling. One more time like this on each side. Nice. Great. All right, lower your arms. That's a good little warm up here. Let's come to the back of our mats. We'll stand at the back of our mats. And let's find nice mountain posture. So really feeling our connection to the ground. And as we ground down, we root ourselves. Then we feel ourselves growing nice and upright from that solid foundation to sort of the peak, the point of the mountain, right? And when we ground down and straighten up, we sometimes lift the chin. Let's tuck the chin, feel length in the back of the neck, feel broad across the collarbones. We'll take the arms and reach them out and feel the collarbones expanding out to the fingertips and grounding down. Let's reach the arms up and feel the ribs slide up, the shoulders slide up, the fingertips stretch up. Breathe in and then sweep your arms out. Soften your knees as you swan dive forward. Let your arms and head be heavy. And then we're going to walk our hands out and we're going to make our way into a plank, that push-up position. Of course, anytime we're in a plank, option to be on your knees. So we're going to hold plank for a moment here, feeling the strength in the legs, the length from heel to crown, the strength in the arms. We'll take a breath. And then let's try a little bend in the elbows, elbows pointing back, trying not to let those hips sink down. We'll take a breath here. And then we're going to straighten the arms. We'll lift the hips up and back now to down dog. You might have a little more distance than normal for your down dog. That's okay. Take a breath. And then breathe out and then walk your hands back towards your feet. Lower your heels. We're going to reverse swan dive and come up. Breathe in. We're going to again swan dive forward. Walk out to a plank. Hold that plank position. And then again, you could be on your knees here. Can you take one hand and tap the opposite shoulder? Take the other hand, tap the opposite shoulder. Take one foot and just tap out to the side. Take the other foot, tap out to the side. Now, hold your plank, take a breath, and then try a little bend in your elbows, or maybe a little deeper bend. Take a breath here, then push straight, go up and back to down dog. Breathe in and out here. Walk your hands back towards your feet, so you end up folded over. Reverse swan dive, inhale and reach up. Again, right away into your swan dive. Walk your hands forward into your plank. Hold your plank here. Maybe try tapping one shoulder, tap the other shoulder, tap one foot out to the side, tap the other foot out to the side. Do that again. Tap one shoulder, tap the other shoulder, tap one foot out to the side, other foot out to the side. Let's try a little bend in the elbows. You could drop to your knees. Take a breath here. We're gonna do that all one more time. Straighten your arms, lift up and back to down dog. Breathe in and out. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Lower your heels. Reverse swan dive. Inhale and rise up. Exhale, swan dive right back down. Walk out to your plank. Hold your plank. Tap one shoulder and then the opposite shoulder. Tap one foot out to the side, other foot out to the side. Do it again. Tap one shoulder, tap the other shoulder, tap one foot to the side, tap the other foot to the side. Little bend in the elbows. Take a breath. This time we're going to lower all the way down to belly. Whew. All right. Prone mountain. Let that chest sink into the floor. How close can you get your collarbones to the floor? The closer they get, the more your shoulder blades wrap onto your back. So let's slide the shoulder blades up a bit, slide them down, and then just feel them right there where they land. And then from right between those shoulder blades, we're going to incrementally do cobra. So I want you to think about length first, toes to crown, and then from right between the shoulder blades, lift up just a bit. And as you're lifting up, pull your heart forward. So super low baby cobra, and then lower back down. This time we're going to come up just a little bit higher. Inhale up into a slightly higher baby cobra, thinking about length, and then lower back down. Do it again, still baby cobra. You're lifting up your hands, your heels of your hands could be pressing back as your heart is pulling forward, but you could lift your hands, just lift them a little bit, and then put them back down and lower your chest. One more time, come up again, about as high as you can come, and still lift your hands off the floor. And then do that. Lift your hands, lift your elbows and squeeze them in. Good. Then release your hands, release your chest. So this time, come up to that place. Inhale up to where your highest baby cobra, and you might stay there, or now you could press down and come up a bit higher into a cobra, but not your highest cobra. Come back down. All right, this time you can come up as high as you like. You could be in baby cobra, you could come to a more complete cobra, whatever feels good for you, and then lower back down. Nice. Let's push back to knees and take the hips back. And then we're going to rock forward and slide your chest down between your arms. So it's like a tricep push up, pushing up, taking the hips back, rocking forward and lowering down. We can do it like that on our knees, or we could push up to plank and then take the hips back and bend the knees, and then rock forward and then lower ourselves down. So you could be on your knees, or you could lift the knees and just go back. Let's do 4 more. Lower down, push up, take the hips back, come forward, lower down, push up, take the hips back, come forward, lower down, push up, take the hips back, forward. Last time, lower down, push up, take the hips back, come forward, come all the way down. Great. All right, come onto your forearms. Get your elbows right under your shoulders. Then slice down with your forearms. Push down to lift the chest. Curl your toes under. We're going to lift our hips up. We might be on our knees, or we might lift one knee at a time, Or we might lift both knees up and hold our forearm plank. So we can just hold statically. We could be dropping one knee at a time. We could try tapping a toe out to the side like we did earlier, or we could stir the pot, circling those hips around and back to center, circling those hips out, around, and back to center, out, around, and back to center. One more time in this direction, and then we'll go the other direction, out and around, and back to center, out and around, and back to center. Two more, out and around, and back to center. Last one. Just hold your plank, take a breath, and then lower down. Good job. Let your elbows go wide. Let your head rest on your hands. Let everything relax for a moment. And just be grateful that you're here, relaxing. Connect with how you're feeling. Breathe in and out. Great. All right. Let's press the front of the hips down and lift the legs up, pointing the toes. So you don't have to lift the legs high to get those glutes and hamstrings working, but could you lift them a little bit higher and notice how that feels? What about if you bring your heels in towards your midline? Can you feel how you start to work the inner line of the legs? Then separate your legs the width of your hips like you normally have them. Lift them a bit higher. Take a breath and then relax them down. Okay, let's bring our arms alongside the body, palms to the ceiling. We're going to press the hips down and lift the legs. Reach back through the fingertips and then pull the heart forward and inhale and lift the chest. Nice locust pose here. So find length. And then could you lift the legs a bit more? Could you lift the arms, reach back more, lift the chest a bit more, breathe in and out. And then lower down. Nice job. Bring your hands next to chest. Push yourself back to your knees. Take your hips back. Go ahead and sit back on your heels. Take a moment in child pose to connect with your breath. Maybe you want to breathe something in. Maybe you'd like to breathe something out. Use this opportunity to do whatever feels right for you. Sometimes I think one of the best things to let go of is self-doubt. So often we doubt our ability to do things. And, we can do so much. And we can do more than we think a lot of times. So maybe breathing out self-doubt can be a helpful concept. But whatever's right for you. So let's lift our heads up and reach our arms out and make our way again to downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out here. Let's look forward and walk our feet up towards our hands this time, ending up folded over. Let's bring hands onto shins and inhale and lengthen and halfway lift. And then exhale and fold over. We're going to take a breath into the upper back. Let the breath empty out. And then roll ourselves up again. Again, a nice chance to let the spine kind of articulate, stack one vertebra on top of the other. Press down to lift your head up. Reach your arms out. Inhale and reach up overhead. And exhale your arms down to your side. Wonderful. All right, let's pick up our weights. And I'm going to grab my heavier weights. This might be a mistake. Take a wide stance. Turn your back foot in and your front foot out. All right, we're going to take our arms. Let's actually start with them out like cactus arms or goalpost arm. We're going to bend the knee. And then as we straighten, we're just going to come in. So we're going to start just going out and in. Trying to keep the elbows about the height of the shoulders. So don't let them drop down here. We're just going to go out and in while we bend the knee. Now we're going to make it a little different. We're going to go out and then we're going to press up. And then we're going to bring them forward and down. So we're going to go out, press up, actually go forward and down. Go out, press up, bring them in and down. One more time like this. Out and up and in. And then we're going to reverse it. So we're going to go up and out and down and in. So we go up and out and down. Let's do two more. Up and out and down. And last one. Up and out and down and in. And then relax them down. Okay, we're going to do that whole thing on the other side. So you might, if you took your heavy weights and you want to switch to your lighter weights, you can. Otherwise, let's see if we can do this. So we got our back foot turned in, our front foot turned out. We're going to start with bent arms. We're going to just bend and come in and open and come in. All right, we're going to open and press up and bring them forward and down. And open and press up and bring them forward and down. Two more. Open, press up and forward and down. And open, press up and forward. Now we're going to lift up. Lift up, then open, then bring them down and bring them in. Press them up, open out, bring them down, bring them in. Two more. Up, open, down, and in. Last one. Up, open, down, and in. Nice work. Relax them down. Turn your feet forward and walk your feet together. Nice work. All right, we're going to do some lunges. So feet are hip distance apart. We'll take a big step back with one foot. We're going to keep the feet hip distance and lift that heel up. Try to get that heel going straight back. And as we bend both knees, we're going to lift out to the side. And then we're going to lower as we straighten. So just a lateral raise. Really working the shoulders today. Yeah. We got to work on our strength because Mother Nature is not helping us in terms of muscle strength. You know, as we lose estrogen, you know, our hormones help us to stay stronger. And so as we lose hormones, as we get older, we lose muscle strength. So we got to do this stuff to keep our strength. Let's do two more. Great. All right. So now we're going to bend the front knee. Your back leg can stay straight. We're going to lean forward. And so now the arms are going to still lift out to the side, but it's going to feel different because you're going to be working the back of the shoulder. So it's a fly now. You're flying your arms out to the side and lowering down. So we're just going to do 4 more and 3 more and 2 more and last one. Great. All right, step your back foot in and step the other foot back. Have your feet hip distance apart. Lift that back heel up and then let both knees bend as you raise your arms. Yeah. So we're working on our strength. And you know what? The fact that you're here working on your strength shows a lot about your inner strength, right? This takes determination. This takes purpose. This takes really recognizing what you need, what's important to you, making time for it and doing it. So this is a strength that you guys can celebrate about yourselves. is that you're here. You showed up. You're doing this. Good for you. Let's do one more like this. And then we're going to bend the front knee forward and lean forward. The back leg is straight. Then drop your arms down and then raise them out to the side. Notice how that feels different. You're working the back of the shoulder here. This is hard. So let's do 4 more. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Good job. All right, step that back foot in. We're going to put our weights down. Nice work. All right, let's just clasp the hands and bring them behind the head and just broaden out your elbows, right? So you're kind of just stretching up a little bit. You can press your feet down and lift your heart a little bit here and just kind of let your elbows kind of reach back as you lift your heart up and breathe in and out. And then come upright and just relax them down. Let's just do some shoulder rolls here. Yeah. Great. All right. So here's where we're going to use our chair. So you can bring the chair to you or just bring your body to a piece of furniture that is a little bit elevated. And then we're going to get ourselves kind of close to the chair. And we're going to just bring our heels on the chair. And then can you scoot your bum? So your bum is under your bent knees. And your heels are on the chair or the couch. And your heels are hip distance apart. And you can turn and look at me if you want to see what we're doing. But when you do it, I'd like you to have your head looking up rather than turn to the side. So we have our heels on the chair and we're just going to lift the hips up. So this will be like a bridge, but it doesn't have to be a high bridge. This is more about targeting the hamstrings and glutes here. And then we're going to lower back down. So not too tricky, just lifting up, pressing those heels into the chair and then lowering down. Again, press down to lift up and then lower down and relax. One more time with both heels on the chair. Great. So now you're going to have one heel on the chair. You're going to lift one foot off the chair. And then same thing, lift up and then lower down. And lift up and lower down. 2 more. Lift up and lower down. Last one, lift up and lower down. Okie doke. Put that heel down, change legs, lift your other foot off, and then press that heel down, lift up and lower down. Again, press down, lift up and lower down. Again, press down, lift up and lower down. Last one, press down, lift up and lower down. Okay, 4 times with both heels, and then we're done with this. So press down, lift up and lower down. Now, can you let your knees drop a little wider apart? Press down, lift up and lower down. We'll do 3 more like that. With your knees a little wider, press down, lift up and lower down. So you're kind of on the outer part of your heels. Press down, lift up and lower down. Last one, press down, lift up and lower down. All right. You can, like I can just push my chair away. You can maybe roll to the side and move yourself so you have room. And then you can hug your knees in. Spread your knees apart. Take a breath. Press the knees back in. Let's lift our legs up in the air. We can rest our arms at our side. We can just alternate flexing and pointing here. And then we can bend the knees, release our feet to the floor. Let's roll to the side and we're gonna sit up. We're just gonna do a seated twist. So if you wanna sit up on a block or sit up on a blanket, if that would allow your spine to be more upright, then please find a block or a blanket to sit on. And whether you're sitting on something or sitting on the floor, let's take some time to feel our sitting bones, root them down to help us sit up nice and tall. And then we're just going to take one hand behind and bring the other arm across. And then feel that line of your spine. So if your arm comes across, see if you've leaned and see if you can keep your spine upright. And we're going to rotate around this midline. So we're going to rotate in the direction of the arm that went behind. We're going to spiral the ribs, the chest, the shoulders, and the head in that direction of the arm that's behind. But once we've spiraled in that direction, I want you to take that same hip bone on that spiraling side and pull it back towards your midline so that your pelvis is facing forward. And then as your pelvis is pulling around forward, your upper body is twisting the other way. And then as you're feeling that action and resistance, take some deep breaths in and out. Take one more deep breath in and out. Maybe breathing in something you want to breathe in, or breathing out something you want to breathe out. And then release that ground. Take a moment to ground your sitting bones down and feel that line of your spine. And then take the other hand behind, take the other arm across. We're going to spiral around that midline, all the way in the direction of that arm that's behind. And then that same hip as that arm that's behind, draw that hip bone back towards your midline. And then spiral your upper body the other way. And then connect with your breath. Maybe breathing in that strength that you're focusing on. Or breathing something out. Take one more deep breath in and out. And then release back around. Great. All right, we're going to transition to our final relaxation. So find the things that might help you to be able to be most comfortable. Maybe it's something under your head or something on your feet, a layer or a blanket. And then when you're ready, go ahead and lie back. And as you lie back, just shift yourself around until you feel an ability to relax. Your body is comfortable and it just begins to soften, release, and relax into the floor. Allow your body to settle. Feel that sensation of relaxing and letting go. No holding back, no resistance now. Just completely allowing your muscles to relax. The tension that you hold to melt away. Releasing, opening, unwinding, smoothing, unclenching. Just dropping into a nice state of ease. as you relax this morning, I want to share with you some character traits or some strengths that each of us have. We all have these inner strengths. They're universal. But they're stronger in some of us than in others. And of course, that's the beauty of our world, is that we're not all the same. So I'm just going to share this list of strengths with you as you're relaxing back. And I invite you to recognize this strength that is within you. And maybe if there's one that you think you're not real strong on, just recognize that you've got it in you. And the ones that you really know are a strength of yours, maybe just take a moment to appreciate yourself for that strength that you possess and that you shine out into the world. So the first one is appreciation of beauty and excellence. You notice and value the world's beauty and people's skills, and you don't take things for granted. Appreciation of beauty and excellence. Just celebrate that strength that's within you. The next one is bravery. You act with mental, moral, or physical strength, even when you know things are difficult or scary. Connect with that bravery that's within you. Celebrate that strength. Next, we have creativity. You come up with new and original ways to think about and do things. So recognize and appreciate that strength of creativity that's within you. Next, we have curiosity. You like exploration and discovery. You ask lots of questions because you want to learn more about anything and everything. Recognize that curiosity that's within you. Celebrate that inner strength. The next is enthusiasm. You approach life with excitement and energy. You energize people around you. Recognize and appreciate your enthusiasm. Next, we have fairness. You believe that all people have value. You approach situations with an unbiased mindset and treat people with respect. Appreciate your fairness. Next is forgiveness. You forgive those who have done wrong. You accept that people make mistakes. This is an important strength. One that maybe you're really good at. Maybe it's something that's in there that you can work on. Forgiveness. Then we have gratitude. You are aware of and thankful for good things that happen. So celebrate and appreciate the fact that you celebrate and appreciate. So there's more. There's quite a few more here on my list. I think I'll save them for next time. That's enough for one day. Just recognizing and appreciating those inner strengths. So you might want to lie back and relax a little longer. That was a pretty, I didn't leave you alone to relax. So if you want to do some more of that, go ahead. If you're ready to transition, you might open your eyes. You can begin to bring your feet to the floor. You can slowly, gradually roll to your side and begin to make your way up to sitting. As we make our way up to sitting, we might choose to bring our hands to heart, take a few moments for ourselves, for our thoughts, for our wishes, for our connection to something that's important to us. I thank you all for being here this morning. Peace. Now, let go of the recording here.